So now you're to the point where shit, we got to name a company. So Jay
That escalated quickly.
Yeah, it did. Like it's like I went from fuck, I'm going home tomorrow to shit, I got to make a company happen. So I'm over there in the team room, and I reach over and wake up Jay, because you know I figured Jay knows some shit. I need to name a company.
And Jay don't know shit.
No, he's laying there asleep. He's like,
he knows everything about it, but nothing about computers.
Right. So he opens his eye, one eye, like Popeye. He's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm trying to name my company. What are you gonna do?" "I'm gonna make holsters, I guess." And he's like, "Needs to be forceful. It's gonna be strong. It's gonna be tactical and shit if you're naming it." So I rolled that shit around for about 30 seconds. Came from the email address, named the company, made a PayPal. Dude paid me. He was the first guy I built some shit for.
That's awesome.
And after like 3 months, I realized that I didn't have a website or anything. I was doing it for Facebook. And after like 3 months, I realized that I was making more money doing holsters than I was working as a millwright. And so I kind of like backed into the business, you know, building shit for me, and people dug it, so they bought more. So I was going to quit my job in August, came up here on my annual leave, and while I was over there at El Vallarta, they texted me and said, "Hey, you haven't been to work for 3 days, so you're fired."
I was sitting there with you.
Yeah, they're like, "You're fired." And I'm like, "Fuck, dude, I told you a year ago I was coming up here for alumni, but hey, that's great, because now you got to pay me unemployment, because I was going to leave in 2 weeks, but now you fired me, so what's up, bitches?" So I went back down there, gathered up all my shit, and my family here was sitting around. I realized that I had a computer nerd, a spreadsheet wonk, and a chick that could do marketing, so bought her an iPad. She sits around, she's a homeschool mom. My sister Cinder, she does all our social media shit while I'm folding plastic. Chad takes care of doing all the paperwork that keeps us out of jail and shit, so you know, anything has to do with like a number or a spreadsheet or like dealing with customers in a professional manner, because that's not me. So yeah, Chad handles that for me. So between the four of us, we got a pretty good team, and it's doubled just about every month. I think what we say our Q2 revenue exceeded.
Q2 of this year exceeded last year's total rev.
So I mean,
awesome,
we're rolling. Oh, why?
You guys?
What's the difference?
The difference is I stopped going, "Hey, I'm sorry that it's taking like a day longer than you thought you might want your shit." What really changed everything is I came up here and y'all loaded me up in the back of the Porsche and gave me like a really compressed business meeting and told me to stop fucking worrying about how people perceive. Just run your game, be you. Somebody pisses you off, call them out, blast them. Everybody appreciates that. Every time every time somebody comes on and says, "Hey, ordered Molster 2 weeks ago and it's not fucking here," well, the wait time's some red letters and sending your confirmation. I used to be all nice and shit. Now I'm like, "Nope, cancel, refunded. Here's your shit back." Or somebody calls up and says, I'm not in a hurry. I'm just kind of checking where my holster is."
I'm patiently waiting. No, you're fucking not.
No, you're not. You're emailing me. We have to deal with it.
You're fucking patiently waiting. We wouldn't be fucking reading your post right now.
That's right. So now I'm just like, "Hey, that's cool, dude. Cancel. Do you want your money back? I'll be happy to like give you your money back and like do your shit, because that's one less fucking thing I got to deal with in my workflow." And I'll be honest with you, we've been up here 10 days. We took in a shitload of orders. I'm pretty much going to be in the shop 16-hour days till
those are orders. You took orders here?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Of course.
The whole time we were here.
That's in addition to all the orders that happen while you're gone.
That's
right.
Are you guys looking at those right now while you're gone?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I'm sure, like every time we go someplace, Amanda drives, and I'm fucking on Facebook, and the emails are popping through.
I'm
like I can't. Yeah.
Shit.
You post one picture to Instagram?
So I get home last night about 10:30. I did emails till 1:45, 1:30 last night. Just, "Hey, where's my shit?" Hey, you know.
Contact. We were doing contact forms. I did contact forms till 2:30 this morning. By the way, that Sweeney Tropo is legit shit.
Do you have any crazy dreams?
I did have some crazy ass dreams, but that's okay. I know what happened. See, I was sleeping next to the air conditioner, right? So all of a sudden my dream goes from like sailboats and chicks in bikinis and boat drinks to I'm crawling along a glacier, my fingers are breaking off, and my ears are breaking off, and I wake up and I realize the air conditioner has frozen me from the tip of my toe all the way to my ear, so I don't really blame them this one.
Yeah, I should have put his hand in a cup of water.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's dreaming he's peeing off a sailboat, he'd have pissed the bed.
The helicopter. But no, I generally need about 8 hours sleep, and then it takes me like an hour and a half to get my shit together, having coffee, watching TV, getting in the shower, doing all that. I'm not even taking the full dose. I just want to, because anytime I take something new, I'll start out low and work up. I'm taking one of those Sweeney Tropos. I go to bed. If I get 3.5 hours sleep, I wake up and these guys are like, "What the fuck's the matter with you?" I'm like, "Come on, man, let's go."
I call it economy of sleep.
Yes.
And that's definitely the case. Like when I take that shit, I've got a bunch of shit I take. And if I take it too early, Like she wants to go to sleep. She'll get in bed about 10 o'clock, and I'll take that shit. If I take that shit at 10 o'clock, I'm up at 4 o'clock ready to fucking move.
Yep.
Like need to get up. Cannot go back to sleep.
Yep.
Toss and turn.
Yep.
Poking her, pushing her, kicking her off the bed.
Yep.
I really need to get up and fucking leave.
Do some shit. Yeah.
So if I take it right as I'm going to sleep, 12:30, 1 o'clock, then I can sleep till 5:30, 6 o'clock. We were out doing farm shit yesterday, and her and I she shoveled fucking 100 shovel loads of fucking wet, manure and shit. And we get back, and she goes, "What are you gonna do?" I go, "I gotta cut belts. I have to fucking cut belts."
Right.
And she gets to the house. She texts me 9:30, so she's like, "I'm at the house. I'm gonna finally take a real shower." And she's like, "I'm fucking so tired. I don't know how you do it, but that's how I do it."
You get compressed sleep. My understanding is it gets you into REM quicker, keeps you in REM longer, so that you get more rest. You get you're only really resting in REM. So if you can be economical with your actual unconscious time and get more REM sleep during that time, you don't need as much unconscious time.
Right.
So
It's
you
just
can be more
sleep
effective.
quality.
Yes.
You can
Right.
improve quality, you need less quantity.
Absolutely, and that's what I'm finding.
When I started getting testosterone pellets,
Right.
Colin said, "Man, you're gonna sleep better." And I never thought of that.
It's
But I do.
anti-inflammatory.
I sleep better. I repair faster. I can just keep going. I don't feel fucking 20, but I might feel 30.
You don't feel 42 or whatever.
Right. Exactly.
Exactly.
And it makes a big deal. And then putting Swinney's shit on top of it, like we use all his shit.
Yeah, he's going to send me the protein and the aminos. He just didn't have any. And but I'm taking the. I took the focus. Like there were 2 meetings I had to do with groups here, and he said just take that stuff. Then you need to be smart.
Empty stomach.
Yep.
Dude, it does help.
It does.
It does.
Everybody
And
around
when you
me
take it
said-
with stimulus, it amplifies
Yes,
the
to the
stimulus.
point when I take Focus 5, like, I'm like almost too focused.
I didn't take
like,
5.
I don't speak.
Because you're thinking so much.
Yeah, I'm like reading,
internalizing.
like,
Yeah, you're like, oh, what's up? You're making connections faster.
yeah.
So I take 2 of those things. I took two different time periods. I took 2 of them, and on both of them, sometimes when I'm talking to people, I find myself having to censor myself. Well,
No.
in the Kydex game,
You should just not censor yourself.
no. There's certain rules, like the rap game's got rules and shit like that. Well, in the Kydex biz, one thing we don't do is we don't dog other people's gear in public. If your gear has got a problem, I'll come to you and I'll say, dude, this is some fucked up redonkulous looking repugnant shit right here. What are you even thinking? But in public, I'll go, we have a different design priority. Our design priority is more for this, and we would do this a little bit differently, and they're approaching a little, that's the kind of thing. So when I'm talking to people, a lot of times I find myself trying to find a way to do that. When I was on that focus, wasn't none of that shit, man. It was like everything was right there, and it worked great, and I had some really interesting meetings. But the SARM, I'm taking the SARM, I'm taking the Lean 8 and the Hyperlean. I'm taking half Hyperleans, and I can tell the difference in a week. I've been on that. I have not changed. I have not done any exercise since I've been here, other than fighting shotgun, which is a lot of fucking exercise.
I was gonna say there's a lot involved in that.
Well, I thought, hey, I'm this week ago.
That's not as bad as
He
it normally
Oh no,
is.
it
missed
goes
his
from here to
shoulder.
here. I woke up this morning. I'm like, man, I feel good, but I feel like somebody's beating me with sticks. And they're like, yeah, an 870, a lot, and it was you, and you paid somebody to tell you when to do it. I'm like, right. So, fuck. But yeah, had a great time up here. We've been up here 10 days. Came up for the SOE party early. We stayed all through alumni, and now I've got to go back and chain myself to the Kydex bench for till meteors hit. So yeah, that's when your shit's legit. I can tell that I've lost weight without doing anything else.
And you can. It's just an improvement on the system.
Yeah, it makes the system.
You don't have to work out to make a system more efficient.
Right. You just have.
You don't have to use a truck to make it more efficient. You can put parts on it. It'll still run efficient when you run it.
Right. But when I get home, that's the
whole
first thing is I have a 3-mile sand loop around the property, and I've got it cut up to where I can do half miles, 3 miles, 1 miles, and shit. So when I get home, I'm
What
gonna.
fucking property do you own?
Well, it's not all my property.
Is that
It
access
starts out
to
on
it?
my property, and there's a 3-mile loop, and it encompasses some farmers' properties and shit, but nobody can
We
get
got
to
a
it. So
1 1/4 mile around ours, and that's a lot.
yeah, it's 410 acres is the block I'm in, and I own. My family owns as a group. We own 3 20-acre blocks, and we've got like a family compound.
I hate sand. You should add some concrete to it or something.
Can't
Man,
do
it'll
Okay.
wear you out. That's good.
I will
though.
tell you how
Sand is some good
sandy it is
shit.
where we live. It is so sandy where we live that Anheuser-Busch gets all of their sand to make all of their bottles
No shit.
2 miles up the road
Huh.
at the Vulcan sand plant. And the way they mine it, it's so deep because apparently there's like some kind of tsunami a billion years ago, like when the dinosaurs were all like hating life. Hey, fucking wave, surf's up. And it deposited all this sand at once. So there's like a 300-foot sand layer on top of bedrock there. So all they do is they just go into the side of a hill, dig out a big pond, put a barge in it, and sit there with a water hose sucking water up from underneath them.
Spray it into
And yeah, and then they dredge it up and strip it to pump it in a pipeline. And when they're done with it, they put the overburden back on because the overburden is just the topsoil. So what they're really doing is like this bumpy, hilly shit there. So they like mine into the side of it until they like take 200 feet off the top of it, and they go back where they put the overburden 10 years ago, put it all back on top, and then go over and mine another one. So they're not so much strip mining, it's just making a little lower spot. I mean, you can see it on Google Earth, but
You'll know the answer to this.
That's awesome.
Anheuser-Busch, their bottles are brown, right?
Yep.
So is it a different kind of sand, or do they put a dye in there to make them brown?
They use different trace sands. So they get their trace sands out of Nova Scotia that makes the bottles brown. All of the glass, the clear glass, comes from the silica sand that we've got. So they've got almost like a garnet-bearing sand, or a sand that's got more carbon in it, and they bring that sand down like basically as a tint or a dye, and they do some kind of tricky magic to make them all go together in a big hot cauldron of boiling, like lava-like shit that will melt you, and they shoot bottles out of it.
Why do you know that?
Huh? Because the dude that drives the truck that goes down to Anheuser-Busch, I'm like, hey dude, this sand's white, how do you make it brown? Well, they bring some shit down on a barge from Nova Scotia, and they chuck it over there, and they just shoot a little bit of it, really, really brown. So,
That's what we have the sand pits down there. And
so it's truck driver knowledge, so take that with a grain of salt.
And that's what Hicks took me down there the first time, and like there's sand towers of sand out there. I was like, what the hell is this? And he's like, all your windshields, and he named some company. He's like, that's where they get it from, and it's super, super white sand.
Yep.
And he was like, that's what this whole mine right here is for. He said, they ship this out. He's like, companies come from all over to get that sand.
And they pipe it in fucking water.
Yep, they use pipelines to move it because it's so efficient. And the water, this is the cool thing about it is, where we live, there's aquifers that are deep. But the groundwater, it's all at the same level in the area. They're like, here you have all these strata, and you have like a drive along, it's weird, you're going to drive along, like, fuck, I'm going uphill, and there's a pond, and we're going downhill. Why the fuck didn't that water run out? We all have like strata. Not so us, man. The water table's a water table. So if you look out at the swamp, and you can see the water shining out through the swamp, and you turn and look that way at a pond, they're at the same level. So what the mines do is they punch down into that level, so they've got the water there, and they use the water to blast the sand away, and then they use the same water to pump it down here, but that water, when it gets to where it's going, runs right back down. So they're just moving water in the groundwater.
Just displacement rather than actually having to physically move.
Yeah, they don't have to like actually get water and then get rid of the water. It's all just like the same groundwater there. And they're not adding or subtracting. There's no chemicals or anything like that. But if you ever get that sand and hold it in your hand, it's not white. It's clear. They actually ever seen like raw diamonds, how they're like that little thing? That's exactly what they look like. They're like little tiny round-edged little diamonds.
I carry a handful in my pocket everywhere I go.
Well, it's easier to pay for some shit that way because everybody will take a conflict diamond. When you throw down a conflict diamond, it's like,
conflict diamonds.
What?
I get my soccer balls from there too.
Well, so here's the thing. If you're going to use diamonds, use conflict diamonds because they don't have serial numbers on them or anything. They're like gold bars, There's
Plus,
no,
those
like,
kids need employment.
They do, you got to help the kids out because without conflict diamonds, they really would, I don't know what they'd be doing for a living. I mean, they'd be running around trying to eat mud or like
hacking each other up machetes,
running from monkeys and shit.
Installing wells in villages.
Yeah.
So what's next for Green Force?
Well, funny you should say that. We're working on something. We're working on an item that's going to be a collaboration. I think that if we do it correctly and we pull it off, I think we can kill the hybrid market. Because I've got a lot of problems the way hybrids are being done right now. All of them got some kind of funky shit on the inside that gets soft or gets stretchy or gets loose. You lose all your attention. And the way they attach the belts is junk. And I'm just tired of getting tagged into fucking alien gear posts, man. If I get tagged into another alien gear post,
I was going to say, you've got tagged into a couple. I've seen it.
Yeah, and I'm not even in those groups. Like, I'm sure this happens to you.
You were tagged in and you weren't even part of it.
I'm not part of the group.
I saw a couple people posting that.
I come in and I'm like, what? Well, now I've got Lepselter. Joshua Lepselter, he's a customer of ours, had him for a long time. He's the guy that does the meme carpet bombing. He's the guy that's got like 15 memes that go together where it's like a story and shit. He's got like dozens of those. So what'll happen is some shit will go down. Somebody will talk shit. Oh, I bought a Green Force tactical holster and it broke. What? No, because we've had 2 breakages. They're both belt attached. One this weekend, one 6 months ago.
And it's always on Glock World or AR-15.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what it is. So, and then my customers will start just fucking tagging me in, and shit'll blow up. And it's always somebody that's never ordered from us, can't give us a fucking order number, can't give us a name that we got in our system. Both times that that's happened, the city they gave us, we've never shipped anything to that city. Where are you at? Well, I'm in Toledo, Ohio. Brr. No, what's your name? Brr. You got an order number? Fuck, I threw it away. Well, you got your email? No, I deleted it, of course.
Yeah. A likely story, sir.
A likely story, sir.
It's funny how none of that makes any sense.
And then it always turns into, well, it was my friend, and I don't really know my friend. You know, it's just, yeah, whatever.
So that company, like I had heard of them years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I think Paul, they sent some shit to Paul Gomez. And when I looked at their Facebook page, they got like 1 million fucking fans or something.
They pump that shit out. Mm-hmm. It's the cheapest hybrid you can buy.
I was gonna say
it's not. I've looked at them. I've held them in my hand. When I come up, whenever I'm anywhere,
I've held one and I was like,
I don't even think it's Kydex. I mean, I've looked at it. I'm pretty sure it's some kind of ABS. I'm not sure what material. If anybody knows, like, hit me up on my Facebook and tell me what that Lepset or somebody with some chemistry shit. Tell me what that is, because it's not Kydex. It's maybe ABS, PVC, something like that. But it doesn't flex as well, and it seems to propagate cracks faster.
It's brittle.
It's brittle, and you can tell by looking at it that it's been overheated, and you can't. When you cut Kydex, you cut it like glass. You scratch it and you break it.
That's how we do our plastic.
Yeah, so what that tells you is if you have a scratch or a cut in your material, or you artificially make a new thinnest spot by smashing something there and bending a 90 in it and making an occlusive angle, that's where it's going to crack, man. That's where all your stress and your motion is going to be. They all crack there. So I'm just tired of dealing with it. My price point's not going to be $29.99.
Nor should it.
No, fuck that.
If you're getting it for $29.99, you can bet there's a problem.
You are getting your money's worth at $29.99, buddy. You're getting every penny you paid for.
Yeah. When I looked at their page, there wasn't, like, they didn't have any new shit. There was dudes on there posting shit, and there were dudes talking shit to them, and they didn't even fucking reply to it. It's like the page isn't monitored.
Well, it's monitored enough to ban me. I will say that I've been tagged into some stuff in there, and it's on their page. I don't want to go shit in somebody else's house, you know. So I get tagged in there, and I go in there and I try to answer people's questions and be nice. And the first 3 or 4 times they just deleted me because I wasn't going in under my company name. I was just going under my normal name. So they probably don't have a fucking clue who I am. And then Bill Peters from the Kydex Cooperative got tagged in some stuff, and we were trying to explain to customers. And one of their mods or somebody, I guess it was one of their mods because they banned us or an admin, came in and pretty much told us to quit talking about other people's shit on their page. I'm like, all right, dude. And then somebody else tagged us in, and by that point I'd had enough of it. I was trying to be nice. And I didn't say shit about their shit, but somebody else said some shit about their shit, and I agreed with their shit, and we all got banned. It's like Glock World. There's so many of us banned from Glock World now. I didn't join Glock World. I didn't want to be in Glock World. People added me to Glock World. There's like a bazillion fucking private pages out there, and I don't know I'm in them until somebody adds me and tags me in, and then I've got all these notifications. Like,
sure, but because of all that shit happening and being banned on Glock World and all those dudes throwing your name on shit, like you're getting a bunch of business.
Fuck yeah, we're getting a lot of business out of it.
So do we got they're in the notes. Hey man, I never heard of you until the Glock World thing.
Exactly.
Same with AR-15.
Well, you told me that. You told me that a year ago. You know, but you, people are going to be pissed off, and the people that are douchebags about it, their friends know they're douchebags. They're going to go out and talk shit.
That's the internet world, man. Fucking, if you take the fucking 25 most active guys in any of those forums, be it AR-15. AR-15, the survival forum on there's fucking awesome. That's the only place I posted for fucking 6 years.
Great knowledge.
They asked me to come over and post. I posted. Some of the mods, a year later, after we wouldn't fucking build custom shit for them and give it to them free, told me not to promote our business, so I never posted on AR-15 in the tactical gear section for 6 years. The only place I posted was in the survival and preparedness forum. And when they started talking shit, we would engage them. I couldn't post there, so I'd engage them on Facebook, and then dudes would take that and put it over there. Well, they'd make fun of me. They thought they were making fun of us. Going, oh, check this out. John's ass hurt. No, man, we fucking run a coupon code. Like, we could literally, when the Facebook page got locked last time, the moderator, Aimless, he's an attorney someplace. He's the attorney for the 2 guys that own AR-15. He was talking shit. He's like, oh, Willis got his page locked, fucking blah, blah, blah. So we made a coupon code. We were sitting, getting ready to go to Las Vegas. Sitting 30 minutes before we got on the plane. I made a coupon code, ARFCOM loves the cock.
Remember that?
Dude, we did fucking $46,000 in the air. In 4 hours. I should have called. I was like, no fucking way.
It's like private jet time.
We did $120,000 on that sale.
Code.
from those guys talking shit, and we videoed it.
Yep.
I showed the backside. They're like, no, there's no way that happened. I showed it on there, and he's like, and I fucked myself. He's like,
then it stopped.
yeah, he's like, okay, nobody's allowed to mention no more links to SOE. But so many of them know who we are now.
I know. They know your personal names, and that's the thing. And screenshots. People will post a bunch of shit, and then they'll screenshot it, and they'll move it different places.
Yeah.
So people would screenshots on other forums of screenshots that were from other forums, okay, that had my name in them, and then they would drop them over to different places where I was.
Yeah, our closed forums.
I have no fucking clue where all this shit's spreading, and then I'll get you know, we get comments on our stuff like, hey, I heard of y'all, blah, 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 you know, kill those bastards, they suck, blow it up, burn it down, whatever. And they'll tell me where they came from, and I'll try to go find it. Man, I can't even get in there. I've never heard of this place.
Too convoluted.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like the rabbit hole. You can go and
yeah,
go.
You're looking at the top, and you're trying to spell this ridiculous fucking name of this group or get the spaces right, and it's like, I can't find it, but we're getting orders off of it. So, like you said, the haters will spread you into places you never knew existed, and you'll make money.
And when we go in to engage them, usually it'll end up with us being a moderator in that board. It's the same couple dudes. And they get in there, and they'll be there for a month or two and kind of feel it out. They'll kind of pseudo talk shit to see if they can, and as soon as they come out and their colors are shown, we get tagged in there. But like my point was, like all those, it's the same. If you got 25 of the most active dudes on any of those boards, and you brought them all and put them in this room, none of them would recognize each other.
Right.
It's like that movie Saw.
Exactly.
All these dudes are in one place. None of them know why they're fucking there. But they're the most active. They're the most they're answering all the questions. They don't fucking train. They don't do anything. They don't fucking know each other.
Nope.
You take, we had 200 people in town.
Yes.
For the last 7 days, they all fucking know each other.
Yep. That's the difference about this group of people as opposed to that fucking nebulous group of people out there in cyberspace.
Right.
Chase Hicks, John Dunn, all those people, and Lepsetter, Blanchard, all those people, Nick Rhodes, all those people.
Virginia boys.
Yeah.
Who are the Virginia? What's the guys?
Yeah.
What's the Virginia?
Tyler Hatton and Mike Keel or Blake Keel.
Cool. Yeah. Cool. Well, so we actually meet all those people. We hang out at the hotel. We go to lunch. We go train. We do stuff with those dudes. So when somebody says something, I can legitimately say, I've trained with that dude. He knows what the fuck he's talking about, and if you don't believe me, here's a picture. I've learned that that's a bad thing to do. Because if you do that, it kills the threat, and it kills the traffic. Okay? So you have to like play it out. It's like, you know, the art of the seduction. You have to give them as much rope as you can to generate as much controversy as you can.
So those 25 dudes, they're everywhere.
Everywhere. On every fucking floor.
And people know that they're dipshits. Like if you're in a room, you take 10 dudes and put them in a room, there's always that dude. Every class has that guy. It's a dude that Indeed. It's a dude that did something fucking stupid. It's a dude that fucking broke the toilet. It's the dude that fucking got a hairbrush in the toilet. There's always some fucking stupid shit.
Yep.
Every time you load the team room with a fucking group of people, there's that guy. If you're in that fucking room and you don't know who that guy is, you're that guy.
You're the guy.
And that's those dudes.
I've been the guy.
They don't know, but everybody else fucking, for every one dude posting, there's 1,000 dudes watching. And they see that guy show up over and over and over, and when he goes, fuck Green Force Tactical, they go, that dude's a fucking dildo. If he's saying fuck Green Force, we should check
their shit out. And that's what's happening. Okay, for example, there's a dude we ran into over at the shop the other day, and we were just over there talking, and as we wanted to walk, his company makes a fantastic product. It's a big gun company. Walked up and we said, hey, we bought some of your guns. We did not lube them. We did not maintain them. We brought them out of the box. We showed up. We shot 1,200 rounds at fighting rifle, and they performed flawlessly. Tell your guys, the guys that actually run their shit, tell them that shit worked good.